happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this February 27th, 2025. And hey, I guess, we're doing okay because we're still alive. Before I get into anything today, thank you for subscribing. Remember to subscribe. If you want your opportunity to be a guest or tell your story, talkinwithtopher at gmail.com. The link tree is in the description below the video, along with all the links for this video. And now with all that out of the way, let's get into today's podcast. What's happening, everybody? It is going to be a wild ride today. I have got a ton of stuff that I want to go over. We have got planes going down everywhere. I believe there's 3 of them right now. One of them got taken out by a Black Hawk. Another one just cruised right into a town, and the other one just disappeared in Alaska, but then was found on a sheet of ice, and supposedly everybody in that one is dead as well. So we've got 63 in one, 6 on the other, and I believe it was 10. So we now have over 70 people dead on 3 separate flights right now. It is wild time, and instead of me rambling on and on and on the way I always do, let's get into today's Topher's Theories. So before I continue any further with this, I do want to let you know that this is for entertainment purposes only. There are a lot of things to question right now. There is a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to get into some of it, but the fraud is crazy today. I just got scammed, and this is exactly what happened to me. Although I don't know why this girl is crying so much, because at the end of the day, I want to say that my bank took care of everything, and I'll get more into that right after this.
All of my money was just stolen. Today I was the victim of phone fraud. Somebody called saying that they were from my bank, from the fraud department of my credit card, that there were fraudulent charges on my card. He asked to verify, he verified them, asked me if I did them, and I said no, and then he said, okay, I'm gonna cancel your card right away, I'm gonna help you out, don't worry about it. He somehow already had access to see my transactions on that card, so he went through the most recent ones and asked me, is this legitimate? Is this legitimate? I was like, yes, that I know. And then he somehow got access to, I didn't give him any passwords, nothing. He already had stuff. He just asked me for.
First of all, you do have to verify something with these people. I'll explain my scenario in a minute.
Normal verification questions. And he was somehow able to access my account, and he wiped my checking and my savings clean. I reported it to BMO fraud, and I'm going to the police station now to report it as well.
The police station? Why?
Just be so careful when people call you.
All right, I can't listen to her cry anymore. It's really upsetting, because I don't know. This seems a little bit over dramatic to me, and I'll explain why. I had the exact same thing happen to me. The fraud department, or let me quotate that. The fraud department called me, and they said, hey, we have a charge on your account for over $600. Is this you? And I said, no. It came up as Bellwether Fraud Department, so they are masking their phone numbers. My bank now, this happened to me about 2 weeks ago, and my bank was completely and absolutely aware of this. It has been happening to hundreds of people. The lady let me know, and she let me know that they had the exact same dollar denominations taken from their accounts as well. So to try and make this a little bit faster for you, I basically spent about 40 minutes on the phone, and they sent me a text message, and I read him back the code. Don't do that. I don't know why I did it. All right, I was at work. It was super busy, and I needed to get back to my job. So it was a perfect storm. Perfect storm, everybody. So they completely took advantage. I gave him the code. He got access. Then decided to do the fraudulent charges. One for $378, one for $375, and one for $932. So I got 3 separate charges. They wiped out my bank account, and I immediately had my wife go down to the bank because we needed some money out of the bank to do some shopping. So I said, hey, just check with them, see how the fraud thing's doing, blah, 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 blah. They were like, oh my God, your account's been wiped. Someone accessed it, da, 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 da. And they ended up putting it all back together. I had to cancel my debit card, which I'm still waiting for a new one. It's been about 7 days, so I should have it back by Wednesday. And then they gave me all my money back within a week. You have to dispute these charges. You have to be, very you have to be aware of what's going on in your account. You have to be aware of what is happening, who the fraud department is, and what you should be doing. I was busy. I was busy, and I wasn't thinking clearly, and I just thought that this was the actual fraud department. Now there's warnings all over the website. There's warnings everywhere. This is giant, everybody. This is all across the world right now. This is not just happening in New Hampshire. This is not just happening at Bellwether. This is not just happening to me and her. This is happening to hundreds of thousands of people right now. So be very careful. If they call you, hang up. Hang up and call your bank immediately. Do not give these people any information. I believe it is all fraud, so be careful. I did get my money back. You can get your money back. So I don't know why she's going to the police station to report it. Just report it to your bank. Your bank is building a database on all of these false numbers, these text messages. Just give them the phone number. They're writing them down. They're putting them into a database, and they are looking into this fraud. It is giant, and there are hundreds of thousands of people, like I just said, that are dealing with this right now. And I was told over 100 people just dealing with the dollar denominations that I was charged with alone last week. So 2 weeks ago now. But just keep it in mind, all right? If these people are calling you or text messaging you, that's not your bank. They're not going to do that. I now know this. The tax people are not going to call you and say, hey, you have past due taxes. You need to pay them today. They're not going to do that. They send letters. They don't really call you at all. They will shut down your assets and send somebody knocking on your door before they ever give you a phone call. So just be aware of this. It's happening everywhere. And unfortunately, I was also taken on this scam. So it happens to the best of us. If you're at work and you can't deal with things and you're trying to get off the phone quickly, that's usually the perfect storm for these scammers. So just be careful. And now I know next time I get a phone call like this, I just go, oh, okay, thank you for the information. I gotta go now. And you hang up on them. And then when you get a free moment, you actually call your bank and you go, hey, I just got a phone call from this number, or I got a text message. Are we having trouble? And if they go, no, I go, okay, here's the phone number. Here's the text message. Here's everything. And thank you very much. Have a great day. So just do it like that, because I'm telling you, these people are trying to get money out of all of us. So I talked about the army that China was building of AI robots. Well, guess what? A U.S. firm unveils plan for a 100,000 strong humanoid robot army to counter China. Did I not say that we were not going to be in a war with humanoids? We're not. We're not going to be in a war with humanoids. It's not going to happen. We are going to be watching a war between humanoids and humanoids. Because why? Because each country wants to be at the top. They want to be at the top. They're going to make their army. And now the U.S. is going to build one to battle China's army. We're just going to be a casualty in the middle of this mess. This is not going to be what I thought it was going to be. It is definitely going to be more than that. Look, at the end of the day, you can kind of see the writing on the wall, and you can see that, unfortunately, actually, fortunately and unfortunately, I'll put them both in the same context, because luckily we won't be fighting these humanoids, right? Because we can't. But unfortunately, they're going to fight each other. And you're going to tell me this isn't going to be like superheroes battling it out in the middle of New York City with buildings getting hit and people getting killed because, the monster came out of the sky and blew up a building, and then, you know, Captain America's fighting the aliens, and you know what I mean? So we are going to be in the middle of this humanoid war, and we're just going to be casualties of it. So I truthfully believe this is our future, and we will see what happens. But yes, the U.S. is getting ready to build an army of humanoids, over 100,000 units to battle China. Here we go, everybody. I feel like I'm in a frigging comic book. Now, check this out. Watch humanoid robots waltzing seamlessly with humans thanks to AI motion tracking. I will play this. I don't know how long it is, but this is wild, everybody. We are I mean, this is it. This is it. This is what's happening now. Okay, I can't play the music. So look at this humanoid, because it's been using AI. So they're teaching it how to seamlessly move and dance with a human, and the AI is learning the movements of the human body, and this robot is pretty much executing this very well. I mean, this is insane, and we are just teaching these things more and more on how to be more like us. Look at this thing walking on its own. The movement in the last 6 months on these humanoids is absolutely insane. The hips are moving better. The joints are moving better. This one seems a little stiff, but still, this is going to be a robot in our house, just chilling out, doing our chores. And then when the war comes to our doorstep, this little sucker here is probably going to have a program inside of it, and it's going to all of a sudden shift. And is it going to be like, oh, I'm protecting you? Or is it going to be, I'm going to take you out so that the other humanoids can't take you out? Like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but look at that. Look at that. The guy in the background is making the movement. The AI is picking it up, and it's making the humanoid do the motions. This is insane. It's insane, everybody. It's so crazy to watch today, because I don't even know where we're going to be. I mean, it is learning everything from us right now. Everything that we are doing, everything that we say, our emotions, the way we speak, the way we move, it's all being programmed into these humanoids. And I mean, I don't know if they're actually going to be friend or foe. At the end of the day, I guess it would all depend on the ultimate programming of everything. But I mean, it's so crazy to think about that these things probably will be in almost every single household across the United States, across the world. And eventually they're going to get triggered to turn on and fight a humanoid war. And are we going to be protected, or are we going to be thrown out with, slaughtered like lambs? I don't know. But I do know that there's something bigger behind all of this, and it is not going to be something that we are going to be looking at as a good thing. I think it's going to be good for a little bit until it's not, and then we're all going to have to see what this is actually doing, because they're going to have to eventually hit that red button, per se. And these things are going to, it's going to be like, what was that movie? AI Robot or iRobot or something. And they, one of them turns on and got the red eyes and, flipping everybody. And they're, it's always this, they're going to attack us. I don't think they're going to attack us. I think they're going to have a switch inside of them that can be remotely turned on, that will turn them into war robots to fight the other robots or humanoids. And we are just going to be in the middle of all this chaos. We're just going to be in the middle of it. Let me see what's going on here real quick. So new AI humanoid robots shock the internet. Unitree, X Tesla, Optimus, X Figure. This is wild. I'm going to play a minute of this. This is about 9 minutes long. I'm hoping there's no music.
China just dropped a bombshell in robotics. Humanoid robots dancing at the Spring Festival Gala, perfectly in sync with human performers. Meanwhile, Figure AI just walked away from OpenAI to build its own in-house AI. Tesla's Optimus is facing a new challenger in the robot hand game. and NVIDIA is training humanoids to move like pro athletes. The race for the most advanced AI-powered humanoid is heating up fast, and things are getting intense. Let's break it all down. First up, let's chat about China's Spring Festival Gala, where a group of 16 humanoid robots from a company called UNI-bot took the stage. They performed this traditional Yangko dance alongside 16 human dancers.
Can I just point out the simple fact that these things are moving so well now? I mean, can I not point this out enough? 6 months, everybody. 6 months.
Tossing and catching handkerchiefs, spinning around in
What?
sync, and not missing a beat. The crazy part is that most humanoid robots out there struggle to stay balanced if you just give them a little shove. But these H-Hun robots, they were not only dancing, but also flipping handkerchiefs in the air and catching them again, all while maintaining stability. That is no small feat. Now, people are comparing them to Tesla's Optimus robot. If you remember, Optimus had some pretty shaky demos when it came to walking in a straight line or picking things up. The UNI-bot H-Han stands about 1.8 meters tall, around 5'11", and weighs 47 kilograms. That's about 104 pounds.
Wow.
They spent 3 months training with AI using laser slam for positioning. This helped them handle stage nuances like little gaps in the floor and the rapid changing of dance formations. These robots were officially rolled out in August 2023, even making an appearance at NVIDIA's GTC conference in 2024. Each
Absolutely insane. $90,000 for these things. But you can see it. You can see the evolution of these humanoids. It is rapidly changing. And that brings me to this right here. This little robot is wild, everybody. It is going to be used to help protect us. I mean, is it really? Is it really going to protect us? Look at this thing. Look at this thing. China's spherical robot for police.
Straight out of a sci-fi movie, this spherical security robot is redefining public safety in Wenzhou's bustling streets. Rolling seamlessly across land and water, this futuristic bot boasts cameras, LiDAR, and flashing lights that make it unmissable. It's not just a looker, it's fast too.
That's so crazy.
With a maximum speed of 22 miles per hour, it accelerates from 0 to top speed in just 2 seconds, perfect for rapid response in high-pressure scenarios. What sets it apart? Its ability to patrol hard-to-reach corners where traditional equipment fails. Equipped with GPS, it collects and transmits coordinates in real time.
My question is who mounted that tire? Look, it's like, that is a crazy looking tire. How do you mount that thing? How do you mount that tire? That's all I've been thinking about this entire video. I've watched this thing like 3 times, and I still want to know how they mounted that tire. That must have been such a bitch.
Time, ensuring no spot goes unmonitored. It's designed to withstand close-range hits without losing functionality, enhancing public safety officers' handling capability.
It looks like you would have to hit it on the side of it in order to create any type of damage. That seems to be its weak point, where all the weapons and the eyes and the computers are poking out to keep this thing moving forward.
Abilities during confrontations.
Huh.
The bot comes armed with a net gun to entangle targets from a distance, making it both proactive and non-lethal. Its near L4 level unmanned driving enables autonomous patrolling along preset routes, avoiding obstacles with ease. Plus, with customizable sensors and devices, it adapts to a variety of missions and terrains effortlessly.
Wow.
From tracking to combat, this spherical robot is paving the way for a high-tech approach to public security.
Yeah, well, public security. I have a hard time believing in public security when they're doing this shit. I really do. It just seems like, they're finding ways to implement humanoids where humans can't handle it. And if they find a way to do this, then these robots are actually programmed to keep us in line as well. So now we got humanoids that will help the police detain us and or make it so that they don't get hurt during some type of riot or something else. And then, you know, you have to worry about the humanoid robot war that's going to happen between at least China and the U.S. I mean, when are we not at war with China? It seems like we are always at war with China. Now, here's where we get into the weird, wacky stuff. I am having a real hard time with this because Stephen Hawking is supposed to be an amazing genius, right? You know, before he had a robot speaking for him, he had a human. And I'm sorry, you listen to this, I can't make out a single word that he is saying, but listen to this video and you tell me how he ever had a voice.
That I wanted to be a scientist. Most of my activities like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games, was aimed in some way at finding out how the world works.
All right, so I don't know if you can hear it. I might have to cut that music out. I'm not sure anymore. But so he's gurgling and burbling and making all kinds of weird noises, right? Sounds like he's trying to breathe more than anything. And somehow this other guy is completely and absolutely speaking for him and saying what he's saying. I couldn't make a damn thing out. Is this so far from the actual truth? Is Stephen Hawking actually an amazing mind? Or was everything coming out of the robot made up? Is everything coming out of this gentleman's mouth made up? I don't know. But man, it is really difficult to believe that before he had a computer speaking for him, we had a human who could completely understand what this man was saying. I couldn't get a single word out of that. I've listened to just the mouth motions and the noise coming out of Stephen Hawking. It doesn't sound like anything that guy is saying. So how do we know any of this is real? Maybe this is all fake. Maybe he had the first invention of AI that would tell you what they wanted us to hear. And maybe he wasn't a genius at all. I don't know. But it's really weird that that guy could understand everything he was attempting to say. But if you play this video back, click that link, check it out. You tell me if you're hearing what that gentleman is saying that's supposedly coming out of this man's mouth. I just don't believe the two are the same. I think it's all made up. This is all false information. That guy didn't even know what he was saying. He just had a script in front of him, and he was like, yeah, every time he gurgles, just follow the lines. Follow the lines. This is what we think he's saying. This is what we're going to tell the world he's saying. Because he is a genius. So, I don't know. I don't know how true a lot of this stuff is, but it is fun to look into. Let's see here. My next one is Wild. So original audio is by Occult Teachings. This is definitely something, again, going back to angels and demons. And I don't know much about it, but I do know that a lot of it's starting to make a lot more sense than what they are trying to tell me.
While there were twin towers in New York, the Empire State. You need to do some homework on the term twin towers and find out that it goes back to Jacob and Boaz of the Phoenician Canaanites. All throughout Europe, churches all had twin towers. You better go back and find out what is connected to New York and how New York comes from the York Rite in England. There's a very sinister, frightening, interesting symbolism that has been imposed upon this country, and the people have no idea in the world what's going on. So I'm just saying, if you want to open up a whole can of worms for yourself, and for the first time, begin to see how magical use of words and terms and symbols are used, you need to start looking at the world of the occult in politics and religion. All of this is part of a subject which I call ancient mysticism that dominates the Western civilization. I'm telling you, this is very serious, and it's absolutely incredible how much people don't know about this system. Now,
So the Twin Towers were evil? So they were taken out because they were evil? Is that what we're getting to right here? You know, I'm not exactly sure, but maybe we should be looking into it. What is up with New York? What is up with the Twin Towers? Why were they taken out? Okay, this clip is 2 minutes long, but I think it digs a little bit deeper into what happened and what is going on with these Twin Towers and why people wanted them gone. This is all very confusing to me because I don't understand the depth of everything. So again, don't take my word for this. I'm only here looking into everything that has been sent to me from Miguela, Elijah, and Hugh. Thank you. Thank you so much. But this stuff is wild, everybody. Listen to this.
I mean, I know your language. It's okay. Because I'm Jewish, you know, I like business. I learn people language so I can fuck them in the ass after.
There you go. There you have it.
Brother, no problem. We like the money, not like you guys. You goy. You know what is goy?
Yeah,
Goy is
you
like
did this.
Cigaria.
You did this.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this? 9/11?
Yeah.
9/11, it's the best.
Yeah, you Jews own everything, huh?
Everything, we rule everything, brother. You need to understand. We eventually rule the world. 10 years from now, it's not France. It's Francistan. It's not Netherlands. It's Netherlandistan.
Yeah.
Belgistan.
Yeah.
Wait, brother.
You did that.
Of course, you deserve that. I swear I'm happy it happened to the Europeans.
Yeah.
The European is the most shit persons in the life. I
Yeah.
lived in Belgium, bro.
Jesus.
I know who is the Europeans. Europeans can suck my dick, brother. You're worth nothing. What is this? Every single aspect mass go look. Like no other
Of
side.
mass immigration is
Aspect
Jewish.
Of mass is Jewish. Brother, I tell you, we run the fucking world. You don't understand what I'm telling you? We rule the world. Rothschild, people like this. You don't understand. It's behind the scenes even, with all this Illuminati shit, bro. You don't know what's going on. You guys will never understand because you're not Jewish. You're not allowed to know those things. But we know what's happening behind the world, brother.
I know.
What?
Everything good, but you don't deserve to know it, you understand? Because you goy. I will rape the children of her. I will rape children in front of her mother.
What?
And then I will shoot the child in the head and the mother also.
And we bomb.
Did you do that in the army too?
Yes, you see this? This is, I swear, from the army.
Well, Christians, we don't have that. We try to make peace.
Okay, that I disagree with. Christians are fucking evil too. I'm sorry. I hate religion so much. I really do. I think every single aspect of religion is evil, and this proves it to me. It really does. So they're happy about the Twin Towers. They're happy that they did this. They did do it. They're basically taking blame for everything, and as far as I'm concerned, they are completely and absolutely admitting to a genocide in Gaza. You know? And what is with Trump wanting to take over Gaza? What are we going to do there? What is the point of all this? We want to buy Greenland. We want the Gulf of America. We want to take over Gaza and rebuild it and make it better. It all seems very planned out. And according to what this guy is saying, he thinks it's going to go the other way, where they're going to take over the entire world. Why does everybody want to take over the world? Everybody. Why? I have no idea. I have no idea. But they all want the same thing. They want full world control. They want to bring hurt and misery to anybody that thinks differently than them. And we do the same. As soon as he said that, Christians bring peace, the fuck they do. They created wars over their religion. They created death. They maimed and slaughtered women and children for the belief in Christ. These holy wars and these wars between other countries and all the stuff that's going on because of religion today, because of religion in the past, it is absolutely disturbing and disgusting. None of this says peace to me. None of it. It all is just their agenda, and it's what fits their agenda, and that's all they care about. So at the end of the day, none of this is for peace. None of this is for happiness and a nice world to live in. It's all about control, taking over, and having everybody under your thumb. Doesn't matter what country we're talking about, because every single one of them wants the exact same thing. And I just don't know what kind of a world we're going to be living in. And I think 5 years from now, I'll give you 5 years if we're lucky, that stuff is just insane, everybody. Now listen to this. It's talk about corporations and these guys, you just got to listen to this. I can't even talk about it because I am that dumb.
Even tapping into bank accounts and everything off my social security. And I remember it was 6 accounts in my name. I called the Federal Reserve Bank. I'm like, why do I got an account with $6 million in it that I've never opened myself? How did you get access to your account? That's when they really started messing with us. That's not the question. Why do I got an account with $6 million? Why do I got a Bank of America account with $20 million?
So the government taking out loans and building accounts under all of us. Now, the only thing I can kind of talk to about this or talk on is that Walmart takes out a insurance policy on every single one of their employees. I have one still to this day. So when I die, Walmart will collect the insurance that they've taken out on me. They do it to every single employee. That's kind of like what the government did. The government took everybody's social security number and then made all these bank accounts and all these extra accounts to fluff up their what is that called? When you're damn it. So the government did all of this so that they can look like they have more money than they do. They're just taking stuff out on us. But somehow they were capable of masking it so that we can't find it. And then the one question that they have when you do look into it and you start finding these accounts under your name and under your social security number, they go, how did you find these accounts? That's not the question, asshole. The question is, how did you take this out and why do I not have access to it? If I've got $6 million sitting in a freaking bank under my name, under my social security number, why don't I have access to it? How did it show up? When did I get it? And if you guys did this, well then, shame on you, because we're going to look into it. We're going to find these accounts, and I'm going to take my money. Because if it's in my name, it's mine. But no, they're doing this to soften the deficit blow. That's what this is all about. They're just hiding everything from us, using us for their own benefits all the time. All the time, everybody. So now we're talking about the devastating storms and the fires. And check this out. It is absolutely wild, everybody. And the reason why I do believe that none of this is by accident.
Our men
This
and women
can't be true,
that have been on
right?
here. We pre-positioned 120 engines, helicopters, dozers, water tenders. We did that on Sunday, 2 days before this event.
To rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Okay. So 2 days before North Carolina got flooded and destroyed, or the fires happened in California, they were putting together a whole army to battle this thing. What are you talking about? So you already knew the fires were going to happen. You knew LA was going to burn to the ground. You started the fires. This guy has said this on national television. This is not far-fetched. You can find this clip everywhere right now. This was said on national television. This is not fake information. This is not the original clip, but I have seen the original one. It has been taken down multiple times, but it keeps popping back up because you said it. It's out there. So when they deem this misinformation on YouTube, it is BS because this has been said. This has been put in place. They did this on purpose. They want these 15-minute cities, everybody. This is much bigger than we are all anticipating. This is more than lithium deposits and acquiring land for the rich and the elite. There is more to this. And I bet you 10-1 by 2028, 2030, we are going to see multiple 15-minute cities popping up in all of these devastated areas because this is the only way they're going to be able to bring it back and make it so that we can live in this area again. We have to redesign it. Yes, I know you lost your house, but when I rebuild this city, I will give you an apartment for 2 minutes, and then I will make you pay $1 million a month to stay in it. And you're going to be happy with that because now you have a roof over your head again and you can rebuild your life because I helped you. It is just bullshit. It's bullshit, everybody. This is another veil being pulled down over our eyes, and we are being told that they are helping us and guiding us in the right direction, and they're going to give us back everything we lost. No, they're not. They're going to give you something because they took everything else away from you, and then they're going to go, okay, now you're here, and these are the rules. That's what it's going to end up being. So let's hear what they're going to say about Elon Musk and Kennedy here. I haven't watched a lot of these, so I am a little surprised by what I'm playing right now.
Elon Musk, who some people like him, some don't, but he's not a dummy. He's a very successful business person. He's got a top secret security clearance. President Trump issued an executive order, and he turned to Mr. Musk, and he said, Mr. Musk, I want you to do for me what I said I was going to do in the election. I want you to go through all the spending. But I'll tell you what Mr. Musk discovered. I find it fascinating. He discovered that the American taxpayers are giving money to Afghanistan. He found that we are giving money to Yemen. He found that we are giving money to Syria. I didn't know that. Some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan.
I love how this guy didn't know that. So you're telling me the people that we all expect to know all don't know? Is this not insane?
Afghanistan, Syria. He found that the USAID has 10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. Our money, taxpayer money. He found that USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India. I didn't know that. The American people didn't know that. He found that USAID gave $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ group called Grupa Izladaji. Elon Musk, who...
So everybody is up in arms right now because Elon is, finding all of this money that is being wasted amongst our government officials. And this is basically what this video is showing you, that our money is being distributed to all types of places all over the world without our knowledge. And I see that everybody is getting very upset and up in arms about, well, we can't get rid of the funding. We can't get rid of this. We can't do that. And then they're like, well, this isn't what the people voted for. You would be incorrect. This is exactly what I voted for. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen. I want the federal government dismantled. I want it destroyed. I want all of our federal funding to actually be going to what is necessary, not going to these places that this gentleman just talked about for reasons of unknown. And I'm sorry if your job is federally funded and this is going to hurt your livelihood, but if you are a waste of money and you are a waste of resources and you are a corporation or something or some type of whatever it is that you are tied into happens to be completely and absolutely useless for our tax-paying dollars to be paying for, then yes, I want it destroyed. But if it's actually helping American people, it's actually doing what it's saying it's doing, then no, leave it alone. It's fine. They're now lowering the standard for high school education. That's right. So now it's easier to get a diploma. This makes no sense to me. This makes no sense to me. So we're lowering the requirements to get a high school diploma. Why? Because you're not teaching everybody what they need to know. You're reneging on the simple fact that you are not teaching them properly. So instead of these people being able to meet the requirements to have a high school education and graduate, you're lowering the standards so they can just get by. Why are you doing this? You're doing it because if they don't know, then they're easier to control. So if we lower the standards, I have more people I can control. We don't have to have the standards up here. We don't have to have all this and all that. So you are making it easier to make people easily controllable? This is so gross. And as far as I'm concerned, the USAID is only the first spot that we're looking in. The more he digs, and yeah, I know, he's running it like a corporation, and you can't run the U.S. government like a corporation. Maybe you can. Maybe that's the problem, everybody. Maybe the problem is that we keep saying that you can't, and in actuality, we can. And maybe that's what needs to be done to get rid of all this waste and to stop our deficit from growing. But at the end of the day, the next person that says that this is not what we voted for, you are wrong. You are wrong. This is what I voted for. This is what I want. And I'm sorry if it interrupts some people's lives because the federal funding is not needed. And I'm sorry if it sends some people looking for a job. But at the end of the day, I am tired of my money being wasted, and I am tired of being lied to about where all of this money is coming from and going. So if it unleashes a horrible truth that we all need to come to grips with, then it's exactly what I voted for. So let's get into some flat earth here. While I got a little bit of time left, I'm running short on time, so I might have to put some of these to the side burner. But check this out. There is the day when mainstream media showed the world how to circumnavigate. Now, this plane, I guess, runs off of solar power. I mean, this is interesting to me because I don't know how old this is, but watch.
They began flying it around the world from Abu Dhabi last year with stops in India and China, then across the vast Pacific. Remember, it has no fuel. It then was on to the United States, hopscotched across America, powered only by the sun, and now it has crossed its last ocean, the Atlantic. Prove its potential.
So supposedly this thing it's cruising around the globe without any gas, without any fuel. It's all solar powered, and it made its way across the entire world, but its flight pattern was in a circle. So what are you telling me right now? This is all it did. It just went in a circle. But if it had to go all around the world, it wouldn't have been in a circle, according to everything that they've told us. But the flight pattern shows that it just hovered above everything and made a circle. What? So again, this disproves what I've been told. And then you see videos like this. And again, I don't know if these are doctored. I don't know if these are made up. I don't know anything. But I will tell you, there's more to everything that than they're telling us. Look at this. A pilot flies over the forbidden ice wall. The images leaked recently. What he finds there is unbelievable. Okay, I'll agree with unbelievable because I'm having a hard time believing any of this to be true. But you have to keep in mind that, unfortunately, flat Earth has been a theory and or realistic way before round Earth. Way before. Everybody thought the Earth was flat. Then it was proven to be round, and now they're just trying to convince us that it is. So check this out, everybody.
It starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here.
Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a photo picture.
So supposedly they flew through the ice wall.
Like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow,
it's
yeah.
making?
Just mesmerized. I've never seen terrain like this.
Where did this video
it's
come
so
from?
Insane, isn't it? How? Because this is right at the edge of it.
Why does it look like they're not moving?
Ice, like cold. I don't even know what
Not like nothing you've ever seen.
Nothing like nothing.
It blows away anything we've seen so far.
Oh man, the ice below us is that's like the Grand Canyon of ice.
Yep.
Just like blown away looking up at the walls and the peaks next to us.
What?
Oh.
That's so crazy to me. I just don't know how real this is, okay? Because I want to know. And I'm trying to investigate it. I'm trying to be open-minded to it, but at the end of the day, if you have to fly to the ice wall, then you have to fly through the ice wall to get to the other parts of Earth because it's flat and we have an ice wall surrounding us. Let's just say that it's true. How many miles can that plane fly? How many miles from the fill-up station to the ice wall, through the ice wall, into the other parts of the Earth, right? Where is there another fill-up station, right? Was the Bermuda Triangle really the ice wall? Where are all these planes that disappeared really looking for the ice wall? Where are these planes getting too close? And then they were taken down and then disappeared, like we've seen many, many times before. And who is this person? It just says truth seeker. But who is this person? Where did this video come from? And when am I going to get some context? Is this person already dead? This is wild to me because the flat earth theory is not a theory. It used to be truth. So if something that used to be truth and then was disproven, right, by science, sorry to throw up quotations, but I'm not that big on science right now. It's seeming like the only thing that it's proved is your truth. At the end of the day, do I think science is great? Do I think we have a lot of advances because of it? Of course. There's just certain things that I still have questions about, like this. But how far can you actually make it on fuel from the closest fuel up to breaking through that ice wall? And do you have enough fuel to actually go any further? But do you also have the capability of getting through that thing, looking around, checking it out, and making it back to that fill station, especially on one of these puddle jumpers? So these are the questions I have because they're basically unanswered at this moment in time for me. How is it possible to make the distance? Are planes purposely made and designed to only hold enough fuel to bring you to the wall and not go through it? Right? Because why wouldn't they design something that wouldn't make it? They're not going to design something that's going to make it. They don't want you to make it. Right? So I think about all these things together. I think about everything like this. So what are they hiding? What do they not want us to find out? What are they telling us? And what are they not telling us? But how capable are our aircrafts today of actually making this trip and making it back? So again, the Simpsons keep popping up left and right, and I do find it to be very interesting. Supposedly, there was another episode that predicted the fires of 2025. So this is the Simpsons prediction of 2025, and I'm hoping there's no music again. Okay, there is music again. I can't play it. It's this satanic, demonic music in the background. You know, hum, num, num, la, lum, la, le, la, lo. You know, that type of stuff in the background, making it, you know, seem a little satanic. But the video is interesting because I do remember these episodes, and it's crazy that this was written and produced and aired, I think, over a decade ago now. But you can see that the beams are boiling the water, the fish, and then the dog, and then the more beams, and we're burning buildings with these beams that are coming down from the sky, right? Just like the fires in LA. The devastation, the destruction, and then you can see the actual footage that's been happening today of these light beams coming down from the sky and causing these fires all over the place. I mean, we've talked about the blue roofs protecting you. We're looking at the LA fires right now. We're looking at the cities, the buildings in LA that match up with these pictures and President Trump's face and all the things that have been happening. This is just wild to watch. These beams of light causing this destruction, explosions everywhere, and then complete and absolute devastation in LA from the fires. So, did the Simpsons predict this? Is this something that was already written for our future? Is this calculated movement to take over and give the government or the elites control over us? I don't know, but the Simpsons keep popping up with a lot of the things that are going on today, and I guess they were just really good at predicting the future, which doesn't seem right to me because you can't really predict the future if you're just making a TV show. Maybe you just got some things right, or maybe they were that close with the Illuminati and they couldn't resist putting it in the cartoon. I don't know. I don't know, everybody, but it just seems too coincidental for me. I always wondered why Nixon was so hated. He knew. So this is kind of interesting too. Let's listen to what it has to say. I can't play the music. The following conversations between Bill Graham and Richard Nixon were recorded in 1972 and 1973, respectively. They were quietly released in 2018.
You see, the Bible makes a distinction, Mr. President, between two groups of Jews. One is called the synagogue of Satan. There's two different kinds. And those people in the latter days is called the remnant of God's people, which will be Jewish people. And then there's the synagogue of Satan. And nearly all of your religious deceptions in the latter days, what the Bible speaks, latter days will be 1,000 years, what they call the synagogue of Satan. In other words, they are energized by a supernatural power called the devil. This is what the Bible teaches. Whether you believe it or don't believe it, this is the biblical teaching. This is what I believe. And I believe that they have a strange brilliance about them. They're smart, and they are energized, in my judgment, by supernatural power. Also, they do something else. They're not smart. And you see, of course, Hitler didn't. They had a stranglehold on Germany, on the banking of Germany, on everything in Germany, and the media. They had the whole thing, you see. But he went about it wrong. But this stranglehold has got to be broken, or this country is going to go down the drain. Yes, sir.
I can't ever say it, but I believe it.
Nobody gets elected the second time. You might be able to do something.
I mean, what? So even Reagan knew about the stranglehold over Germany. I mean, this is insane. I'm not saying that the Holocaust didn't happen. I'm not saying that Hitler is a good person. Look, I'm not Bryce, okay? That fighter put himself in a world of hurt by listening to this malarkey about Hitler being a good person. I don't think Hitler was a good person, but I also don't think Hitler acted alone. I think it was by design and he was picked. I think everything that we're looking at today is by design and somebody was picked to be the fall guy. There are a lot of theories about a lot of these fallen foreign leaders that as soon as they implemented their own currency, they were taken out. Fidel Castro was a great person until he introduced some type of currency, and then he was a monster. And that list goes on and on and on. If you look into it, is it possible that the Holocaust and the takeover that was happening from Germany wasn't actually assembled by the Germans or by Hitler? There was actually a puppet master, and they were all just puppets in this game, because there is a world leader that is hidden, I think, that is accepting and hoping for all of this. And every time something goes really, really wrong or something like this happens, maybe even the war with Israel and the Palestinians, or maybe Russia and Ukraine, all by design, everybody. Maybe at the end of the day, these people are put into these scenarios and they actually didn't want to be in them. I can't dismiss that thought anymore. I can't dismiss that these, like the One World Health Organization or whatever they are, I can't dismiss the fact that they exist and then they want everybody under the same currency and then they want full control over everybody. So why wouldn't they manipulate somebody to believe in something that is not true or convince somebody that they need to do something to make the world right? Maybe at the end of the day, maybe all of this was put into place by somebody else. And now these people all take the fall for it. That's all I'm saying. But Bryce, I like you as a fighter, but man, you got to keep your mouth shut on, I think it's Bryce Mitchell, right? But you got to keep your mouth shut, dude. Look, at the end of the day, bro, the Holocaust happened and you can't be condoning it. You really can't. It's an absolute horrible thing. But on the other hand of that, and I'm going to say it, they did the exact same thing to the Palestinians. And I don't know if as many or more died, but if anything, I mean, they're equal, right? Germany tried to take out all of the Jews, and the Jews tried to take out all of the Palestinians. So at the end of the day, it seems to me that they're all doing the same thing to each other. But who is making these moves happen, right? Google is introducing the quantum chip, and this is Jamie Kennedy's thoughts on it. And I thought this was really, really good.
Google unleashed the quantum chip yesterday. Don't listen to me. What if you had Google stock? I don't think it would hurt you. Even if you buy it in little bits, it ain't going away. The quantum chip, forever. The quantum chip, it doesn't compute on physical space. It computes in another realm. Do you understand what that means? It doesn't compute in the physical world. It computes in an alternative dimension in qubits. It has to be stored under 248 degrees negative Fahrenheit. This is straight up Dr. Zhivago 60s evil lair type shit.
That's
a
crazy.
Problem that would normally take a team of supercomputers 10 septillion years. Septillion.
I've never even heard of septillion until this video.
Type it in your phone. Septillion. This chip, just this one chip, can do the same content computation. All the computers in the world, it would take 10 septillion years. 10 septillion years. This chip, just this first chip, which they've unleashed, can do the computation in 30 minutes. Think about that. Think about that.
I mean, that's wild. That is wild. That it's going to be able to do what every computer will be capable of doing in 10 septillion years, whatever the fuck that is, man. Septillion? That sounds made up. But Jamie Kennedy is a little worried about it. I mean, I don't know much about quantum computing except that it's a complete and absolute game changer today. So if it can do what every computer can do in 30 minutes, that would take everybody else septillion years. I mean, that's crazy. And this is where we're at. Quantum computing, AI, humanoid wars, armies, dancing and cleaning, and I mean, taking over. I mean, we've got elites making sure that we're all staying in line, and it's just going on and on and on. And this is the craziest time to be alive. I thought 2025 was definitely going to be a better year than 2024. Nah, it's not going to be better. It's going to be more chaotic. There's probably going to be more truth unveiled, and we're going to actually see what the hell is going on by 2026. It's going to be a different world. I'm not even going to give us 5 years anymore. I just said 5 years 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. Nope. I give us to the end of this year before something really, really pops off. So the best breakdown of Project Blue Beam I've ever seen. This guy gets it. I'm going to let this one play, and you got to check this out. This is insane, everybody.
He discovered that NASA and a few intelligence agencies developed the technology to project 3D holographic images into the sky. I say into because the system uses a combination of satellites and ground-based systems to manipulate the ionosphere. You don't need a screen. Images can be projected onto the particles in the atmosphere. The projections will appear so lifelike that people will believe they are witnessing a miracle. The dominant god of each region will appear in the sky. Imagine looking up and seeing Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, all speaking to their followers in their own language. Their god will tell them their beliefs are all wrong, then will slowly morph into a new god. This is the first appearance of the new Messiah, God of the New World Order.
The projections of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Krishna will merge into one, and explanations of mysteries and revelations will be disclosed. This one God will, in fact, be the Antichrist, who will explain that the various scriptures have been misunderstood and misinterpreted, and that the religions of old are responsible for turning brother against brother and nation against nation. Therefore, old religions must be abolished to make way for the new age, new world religion, representing the one God Antichrist they see before them.
Debunking old religions will be enough to convert some people to this new one. Giant deities appearing and then converging into one Antichrist will convert a lot more. But these technologies won't work on everybody. Non-religious people will be terrified for sure, but they won't suddenly believe in a god based on a hologram, no matter how real it looks. The Shadow Masters know that. The Shadow Masters know that to create a one-world government and single religion, they need 100% of the population to believe. But you can't force a religious belief on somebody. They need to make the decision themselves, or at least be convinced they made it. The elites know this. That brings us to step 3. If you're not convinced by what you see, they'll use technology to broadcast the message directly into your brain. You may not realize it, but this technology is being used on you right now.
So I'm going to stop that video there because it does go a little bit deeper, but I'm running out of time and it just stopped snowing, so I got to go shovel. But you can see that they are going to be using Project Bluebeam to do more than just be destructive. It is literally going to be showing you that these things are happening, and now you need to believe. You need to believe, and we're going to be the ones to help you through it. We're going to lead you in the right direction, and we're going to keep you safe and give you everything that you need. And it's just crazy to me because it's all made up by the elites. It's all made up. It's all made up. This is all fake news. Everything that's coming out today, the things in the sky, the airplanes crashing, the Black Hawks. Do you know that that Black Hawk could be remotely controlled? It looks like it beelines right into that plane, without a doubt. I don't think the 3 people inside of that helicopter had a chance. I think this is another way for them to be like, hey, we need to, oh my goodness, let's get you into a safe place. You know what I mean? Or they're making it seem like we're not capable of doing our jobs, you know, by having the hiccup of the air traffic controller doing the job of 2, you know, being short-handed. Okay. Why would anybody be short-handing probably the most important thing that we have going on right now, which is, you know, planes flying in and out, and we don't want them to crash into each other. You should not be cutting that job. You should not be paying those people cheaply. Those people should be wanting to show up to work every single fucking day. And I think that's the problem with the world today, is now the corporations have gotten so greedy that they feel like they don't have to pay any of their workers anything. They can get as many hours out of them as they want. And whether or not you have an actual life to live or you can afford anything is not even a thought to them. They just don't care anymore. You know, I think this has just gone so upside down today. So let's see here. Let's check this one out. I don't even remember what this one is. Yes, the U.S. spending. That's what it is. Okay.
Someone who knows more than me helped me out with this one. So I've been using usaspending.gov to look into the USAID spending over the last 4 years. Because cracking open the USAID scandal changes the game. It is the story right now. And Americans are learning about all kinds of crazy government programs that we've been funding. But we're also learning about all kinds of organizations and NGOs and nonprofits that we didn't know we didn't even know existed. Okay, disregard the filter that TikTok just put on me for the last 10 clips. And in the data here, I noticed that when you sort it by the size of payment, the largest payment, $6 billion, is to Chemonics International Inc., and then Pfizer. But then there's more Chemonics International Inc., and then there's more Chemonics International Inc.
Oh, wow.
Then there's more Chemonics International Inc.
What the fuck?
Then there's more Chemonics International Inc. and more Chemonics International Inc.
Oh my God,
I'm
they're on
hoping
there over and
some of
over
you already
again.
know about Chemonics and can give us some leads and get the ball rolling of what the hell this is.
Yeah,
when
what
you dig
is
into
that?
The sub awards that they're giving out, it's basically all just transporting pharmaceutical products all around the world to all sorts of developing nations. Looks like it's mostly AIDS drugs, which is an insane amount of money.
That's
Side
crazy.
note, can anyone describe to me why the AIDS epidemic is such a problem in Africa? Are they all doing heroin? Are they all having butt sex? Why is AIDS everywhere in Africa? Is it just from poor sanitation? Or is it possible that we're not being told the whole story about the AIDS epidemic? What? But anyways, Chemonics and...
Well, I mean, I'm going to stop the video there. You can check it out later. But if you want to really dig into the AIDS epidemic, it was... let's just put it this way. There was a reporter or was it a reporter or somebody said they were questioning somebody. And And the person that they were questioning was, I think, a famous person. And they were like, well, aren't you worried about AIDS and stuff like that and catching it and blah, 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 blah. And I think this was in the early 90s. You might be able to find the clip somewhere. But the person looked at the reporter and goes, well, a straight person saying that they have AIDS is a liar. So AIDS was specifically, I guess, for gay men. And if you were straight and female or straight and male, and you said that you had AIDS, then you were considered a liar because it was impossible for you to get it. These drugs that they're sending over to Africa and doing all these things with, look, I've always thought it was a cover-up. I've brought up a few things about this over time, and I have been demonetized, shut down, and had episodes completely ripped off the internet by YouTube because of disinformation or misinformation or whatever you want to call it. A bunch of BS is what I call it. But look, that person, BG, is involved in all of this. And it is collectively a way to control us all. And I love the fact that they are actually exposing these assholes for wasting our money on this shit. I mean, how many more accounts do you have to have? It's so crazy to me. So let's see this one here. Let's go to this one. Check out what this kid finds out. This is wild.
Those of you that don't know, there is a spacecraft that has melted out of the ice in Greenland. As you know, the North Pole has melted completely. You can go from London to Moscow.
The North Pole has melted completely. What? Did you hear about that? I didn't hear about that. And a spaceship has been exposed in Greenland? Is that why Trump wants to buy it?
To Russia by going over the North Pole now. All the ice cap is gone. The last place that has ice on it was Greenland. Greenland had a 18,000-foot ice cap on it. Well, the spacecraft that is anchored in the center of Greenland created the last ice age 50,000 years ago. It's a weather machine. It's 55 miles wide, 300 miles long, and 2 miles high. People that lived in it were called the Mois. If you draw a straight line from
What? Are you kidding me? This is crazy.
Bro, what was I saying about weather? Then I tell y'all niggas when I ain't real.
Those of you that don't know.
Wow. So supposedly the spacecraft that's that large is actually a weather machine that created the Ice Age. I mean, what? I hope so. Let's dig it up. Let's look at it. What do you mean? Are the people still inside of it? It's 300 miles long. A machine to create an ice age is 300 miles long. That sounds like a 15-minute city. Is this the original 15-minute city? Has this already been done? Are we just repeating it over and over again? Maybe we've already tried all of this once. And it ended because we can't control ourselves. And once we don't get full control, we're like, screw it. Everybody can die now. And not everybody dies. And then we repopulate and we do it all over again. Are we any different than we were 100,000 years ago? 500,000 years ago? I do not believe we have not been on this planet for almost 1 million years. I'm starting to believe we've been on this planet for over 1 million years. This is somebody's wacky experiment. And once we find out who the experiment holder is, it's going to be a wild time. But man, doesn't it feel like we've been here before? Doesn't it? This was cool. This is like a quote from a movie or something. So this is the best advice I ever picked up from a movie. Check this
You
out.
get up $2.5 million. Any asshole in the world knows what to do. You get a house with a 25-year roof, an indestructible Jap economy shitbox. You put the rest into the system at 3 to 5% to pay your taxes, and that's your base. Get me? That's your fortress of fucking solitude. That puts you for the rest of your life at a level of fuck you. Somebody wants you to do something? Fuck you. Boss pisses you off? Fuck you. Own your house. Have a couple bucks in the bank. Don't drink. That's all I have to say to anybody at any social level. Did your grandfather take risks?
Yes.
I guarantee he did it from a position of fuck you. A wise man's life is based around fuck you. The United States of America is based on fuck you. You're a king. You have an army. Greatest navy in the history of the world. Fuck you. Blow me. We'll fuck it up ourselves. Yeah.
It's so true, man. So true. Yeah, that fuck you money's true, man. If we could all get our hands on fuck you money, we would never listen to any of these assholes ever again. The only reason we even listen remotely is because we don't have fuck you money and we need to keep living and striving. And the only way to do that is to kind of play into their game. But man, if we all out there had fuck you money, do you think any of us would give a shit what they say or what they're doing? Because we would all financially be able to just do what we want. And we would be able to say fuck you. I mean, I dream of having fuck you money all the time. I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore. I just want to do what I want to do and what makes me feel good. And getting there is the hard part. So this guy supposedly found something and then was taken out because of his findings. Listen to this.
Things that I had ever seen in the bottom of the ocean. And it was while filming for Blue Planet. It was in the Gulf of Mexico. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm already underwater. We went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Coincidentally, a few days after this aired on the television that he had made this discovery, when him and his friend were flying the helicopter, it exploded, and he died.
And it's gone.
So this guy was underwater, filming for something or investigating the ocean or whatever, and then comes across a sea of oysters that leads to another lake underneath the water. And when they try to go through that puddle, let's say, they bounced. They couldn't get through it. But what was it? And why did he die 2 days later because of it? There's not much more information. There isn't. So crossing territories. Let me see if somebody put something in the comments. Somebody wrote, I think that will come out of that is written in the Bible. So again, we're Bible. It's the water beneath the water, below the firmament below. So the firmament's above us and below us. All right, I'm not going to get too deep into this. Doesn't matter when he lost his life, but how, and we are still continually lied to about the nature of Earth and our whole human history. And I will agree with that last statement because that is so true. So I'm going to end on this one, everybody, because I think everybody needs to know that this was said, because this blew my mind. Couldn't believe I was hearing it. And if it is, then why do I continue to feel like I have to do it every year?
As we all know, that our U.S. tax system is a voluntary tax system, and we depend on people willing every year to sit down, fill out that form, and pay their appropriate amount of taxes. So I really think enforcement is a reward to those who voluntarily comply. And I think if the public does not see that the IRS is enforcing the laws, we're going to be at risk of losing people continuing to voluntarily comply.
Voluntarily? Voluntary taxes? Oh, what? That sounds perfect. I voluntarily choose to opt out. Stop taking your money out of my paycheck. Stop stealing the money from me, and go fuck yourselves. Because if it is voluntary, then why am I choosing to pay? I don't want to pay you. I barely make enough money to scrape by these days. The amount of taxes that we pay is astronomical. And now you're going to sit there and say that they're voluntary? Okay, then I'm opting out. I'm done. No more taxes for me. I'm going to put you in as stealing money out of my paycheck every week, and we're going to put an end to this, right? Because I don't need to voluntarily pay my taxes because you're spending all of my money on stupid shit. You're spending all of my money on USAID fakeness, on false pretenses, and using our money for nothing of what you said that you're using it for. So at the end of the day, I think I want to opt out. What do you think? I think this shit's crazy, everybody. So again, thank you, Magella. Thank you, Elijah. And thank you, Hugh. I greatly appreciate all the videos. Keep them coming, even though it takes me 30 minutes to go through everything you guys send me. But I appreciate it. I think it's what's keeping the show alive at this point because, addiction is not something I think about as much anymore. But yeah, this stuff is wild. There's a lot of truth in here. There's a lot of fakeness in here. This is only for entertainment. I am not a scientist. I'm not a doctor, and I am not anybody who has the facts. I'm just somebody who is questioning everything that's being thrown at him today. And I think it's a lot of fun to do. And the more we look into it, the less they can hide from us. And eventually we will find the truth. And that's what this is all about today. Finding the truth and finding something worth, worth living for, Because if they continue down a path that they're on, it really doesn't seem worth it because the only people benefiting are them. And we need to make it so that we are benefiting. And they can do their thing, but they're supposed to be working for us. We're not supposed to be working for them. And I think this needs to get flipped. And I don't know how to make it happen, but I'm going to keep looking. All right, everybody. So thank you again. I know I ran really long in the tooth, but I hope you enjoyed this full video episode. Thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for everything that you do to help the podcast grow. If you're new, remember to subscribe. You want your opportunity to tell your story or be a guest, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com is the official email of the podcast. Linktree is in the description below, along with all the links for this episode, so you can go and check them out and do some of your own digging into these subjects. And then, of course, I hope everybody out there enjoys your Thursday. Hope you have a great weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.